Hey everyone, welcome to my first edition of Theo Reviews PMQs. This is the first edition I'm doing, which is the 5th of January 2022, and of course, incidentally, it's also the first PMQs of 2022. Now, the way I'll review PMQs will be mainly focusing on the Prime Minister versus the Leader of the Opposition, or the biggest opposition party, Sir Keir Starmer. I'll also touch a bit on the SNP, or the Scottish National Party, as they're the second biggest opposition party. Now, I'll just start off by stating two things, because this PMQs was slightly different. Normally, PMQs starts around 12, which is why some people today were wondering why isn't it on or why hasn't it started. So it started more around 3 and half 3 today, but normally, if you want to watch for yourself, it does start around 12. Now, as I just said, normally it's the Prime Minister versus the Leader of the Opposition. The Leader of the Opposition is Sir Keir Starmer, but because he's having to self-isolate for 7 days, the Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Angela Rayner, took over. So normally, PMQs would be Keir Starmer versus Boris Johnson, but today it was Angela Rayner versus Boris Johnson. Now, Angela Rayner started by focusing on the living crisis now facing us last year and this year, about the rising cost in bills, especially energy prices, and how on top of that, thanks to inflation, which is now at 6%, and we have not seen such a high percent since the early 90s. Boris tried to talk about Labour's roadmap, about how when the surge of the new variant Omicron of COVID-19 came, that Labour wanted to look at another lockdown, the Conservatives wanted to focus on booster jab and vaccine, and his plan B. But obviously, I think Boris Johnson forgets that the only reason we're enacting plan B is because Labour voted it through. It was 100 Conservative MPs that rebelled and voted against it. Angela Rayner also made a good point about the energy companies themselves, that last year 27 actually went bust, 27 energy companies went bust. She also talked about how there'll be a seismic hit on energy bills this year for almost all families. And of course, Boris Johnson tried to respond by wiggling Brexit into it to please his party and supporters, even though it had almost a minuscule link to it. So now I'll just touch on the Scottish National Party, the SNP, as like I said, they're the second biggest opposition party. Now the leader of the Scottish National Party is Nicola Sturgeon, but she stays up in Scotland, and the leader of the Westminster Scottish National Group, Ian Blackford, asks the questions normally. Now, he echoed on from Angela Rayner about, thanks to inflation and energy prices and rising bills, about each family is going to be given the average family is going to be given an extra £1,200 of bills, which, to many families will be truly catastrophic, and families will have to argue between, do we eat or do we have heating? He also talked a lot about how, and touching on slightly from Labour again, about the levels of poverty in the UK, about how the UK has the worst levels of poverty in Northern Europe itself. And of course, Boris Johnson just tried to reflect and bounce off that again. So that's my review. If you wish me to focus more on questions raised by other MPs or backbenchers, please do. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments section, or you can email me at theodoreg.michael@gmail.com. You can of course send them to my Twitter or Facebook, which I will leave in the description below. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope this has cleared a few thoughts for you.